Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I am your host, Rudy Rodriguez Shomont, and I have a rant that I never thought I would have to make. But man, it's a shitty day for me as a sports fan. My weekend in sports my week has not been great. Um, the Yankees, we'll skip that. The Heat did beat the Lakers by 41. They did beat the Phoenix Suns, and they did beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, all in a week. So they've had a great stretch of basketball here on their home streak, whooping the Lakers, beating the Suns, and beating the Cavs tonight. So that was nice. But of course, the Miami Hurricanes don't make the college football playoff. They lose last Saturday to Syracuse, blow the opportunity, and then of course Clemson wins and Georgia wins, and that pretty much ends Miami's chances of getting into the college football playoff. I am glad, however, that Alabama is not going and SMU will get that last spot. And then the Dolphins, they win today, and they're up to 6-7. But before I jump in, thank you so much for continued support of this channel. I greatly appreciate you. It is my birthday, baby. 47. Do I look any bit of 47? I don't think so. It is my birthday, December 9th, 1977. Yours truly was brought into the earth by my parents. So, yeah, I am 47 years old today, and tonight I will be coaching my kids playing soccer for my birthday present. We better get a win, that's for dang sure, because if we don't win on my birthday, they're going to be running some suicides after the game, man. I can't tolerate losing on my birthday. All jokes aside, thank you so much for continuing support of this channel. I greatly appreciate you. I'll be sure to like, subscribe, follow, hit that bell. Let's just jump on in on this shit. The New York Yankees lost Juan Soto. They didn't just lose Juan Soto. Juan Soto is going from the Bronx to Queens. He has been reported and that he will sign a deal with the Mets for 15 years, $765 million. This is a bigger deal than the deal that Shohei Ohtani got, and here's why. One, it's got more years. Two, it's got more money. Three, it's not deferred. Ohtani's deal is a deferred deal. The estimated value of Ohtani's deal right now is $400 million. It's not $700 million like he signed for, because he's not going to see his money forever. For purposes of right now, Soto's deal is the biggest deal in baseball history, years and dollars, and none of it's deferred. And he has a 5-year opt-out. Needless to say, as a Yankees fan, I'm highly disappointed. I'm highly disappointed for a number of reasons, but the biggest reason I'm disappointed is because this man chose money over glory, but not money that would change your life. The Yankees' offer was 16 years, $760 million. You cannot call Hal Steinbrenner cheap. 16 years, $760 million. He turned down the team he just played with and went to the World Series with for a team that hasn't done shit since 1986. He turned down the king for the Court Jester. Yes, the New York Mets are the Court Jester. They're a joke. And no matter how much money they spend, they still will fail. And that's not being a hater, because they just took Clay Holmes. So for the hits they now added with Juan Soto, I guarantee you Clay Holmes will give back a whole bunch of them and cost them a whole bunch of games. The Yankees were a few plays, yes, a few plays from being World Series champions. And you'll say I'm crazy, right? Game 1, they should have won that game. Game 2, they had a chance in the 9th inning to win that game. Game 4, they won that game. Game 5, they're up 6-0 or 5-0, whatever it was. And they're up 6-5 in the 8th. Defensively, Players like Juan Soto let them down. These are facts. So did Aaron Judge. So did Anthony Rizzo. So did Garrett Cole. Defensively, the Yankees blew that series. So there were a few plays, as I said, from being potential world champions. And this man chose to go play for the Mets. Juan Soto turned down the team that went to the World Series to a team that lost in the NLCS. And while they did win 2 games and was 4-2, the Yankees in their games were far closer to the Dodgers than the Mets were. The Mets won 2 games, but they also got beat 9-0, 8-0, 10-2, and 10-5. Those games they had no chance to win. I'm just very disappointed because Juan Soto looked good in Yankees pinstripes. Him as a duo with Aaron Judge would go down as one of the greatest duos in baseball history. And you can look at the Mets lineup. Francisco Lindor, he's a good player. He's not Aaron Judge. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe it wasn't so much money. But maybe, obviously it was because they gave more money and a higher average per year. But ask yourself this question. Is Juan Soto better than Aaron Judge? The answer is no. Aaron Judge gave up his position in right field for Juan Soto. He did that because he's a leader. And while Juan Soto was an incredible player for the New York Yankees, I highly recommend you take a look at what Aaron Judge did last year and compare it to what Juan Soto did last year. And do I think he helped Aaron Judge? Absolutely. I'd be lying if I said differently. But I also know this. Aaron Judge hit 322. Juan Soto hit 288. Aaron Judge had a 10.8 WAR. Juan Soto had a 7.9 WAR. Aaron Judge had 180 hits. Soto had 166. Aaron Judge had 58 homers. Soto had 41. Aaron Judge scored 122 runs. Soto had 128. Aaron Judge had 144 RBI. Soto had 109. Aaron Judge had 10 steals. Soto had 7. Aaron Judge's on-base percentage was 458. Soto's was 419. Aaron Judge had a 701 slugging percentage. Soto had a 569. Aaron Judge's OPS 1.159. Soto 0.989. Across the board, Aaron Judge was better than Juan Soto. And if you want to go deeper, Juan Soto just had the best year of his career. The best year of his career. I completely will erase 2020 because they only played 47 games. So those numbers there of 351, 490, 695, those are all bloated and they're all garbage because it was a third of a season. For his seasons in which he played a full season, this was not just his best season, but it was his best season by a mile. By a mile. So kudos, Juan Soto. You parlayed your one season in Yankee pinstripes to the biggest contract in Major League Baseball history. You did it. You earned it. Absolutely. And you forever tarnished your reputation. Because no one in a New York Met uniform will ever compare to a New York Yankees uniform. You might be the biggest star on the planet playing for the Mets, but that will never equate to playing for the Yankees. And maybe that's where ego comes into play. Maybe he didn't like being number 2. Maybe he didn't like being the second fiddle to Aaron Judge, despite the fact that Juan Soto was a major contributor to the Yankees, huge part of the Yankees' success. But let's not act like Aaron Judge just 2 years ago didn't hit 311 with 62 homers, 131 RBI, 133 runs, 10.5 WAR, 111 walks, 425 on base, 686 slugging, 1.111 OPS. I mean, what are we talking? 391 total bases. What are we talking about? Aaron Judge arguably had a better year this year than he did 2 years ago when he won the MVP. Oh, let's not forget 2017. Aaron Judge hit 284, 52 homers, 128 runs, 114 RBI, 127 walks, 422 on base percentage, 627 slugging, 1.049 OPS. And that was a year that he got screwed out of the MVP when he was Rookie of the Year and didn't win MVP next to this fucking Altuve, who wasn't a fraction of the player Aaron Judge was. Aaron Judge should be a 3-time AL MVP right now. And I know Aaron Judge in the playoffs was an utter disaster. And I mean, I'm praying that next year, the Yankees get to the playoffs, he becomes a star. Because even A-Rod had his troubles, and then even that 1 year in 2009, he balled his ass off. But to sit here and act like the reason Aaron Judge had the season he had this past year and say it was because of Juan Soto is bullshit. It's bullshit. It's absolute, utter bullshit. And in fact, I would argue to you right now that if Aaron Judge is healthy for a full year, that's the key for Aaron Judge, health. If he is healthy, he will walk more next year than he did this year. His home run numbers might come down a bit. But guess what? The Yankees have still not done their work in free agency. If you want to look back into 2021, Aaron Judge had 39 homers, 98 RBI, hit 287. Aaron Judge in 23, when he got hurt, broke his toe or whatever in LA, he was having a great season with 37 homers and 75 RBI. He was on pace at 160 games. This guy was on pace to hit another 55 homers and have 120 ribby. The Aaron Judge, year after year, is better than Juan Soto. He is. It's a fact. So Aaron Judge will be just fine. So maybe it was that Juan Soto didn't like not being the man. And the reason he wanted to go to the Mets was he knows that he is now the man. He is number one. Lindor is number two, but he is number one. But let's look at what the Yankees got to do now. They got to adjust course. You were going to offer this man a Brinks truck, which I think 16 years, this was way too many years. But because you're basically sacrificing the final 6 for the first 10 and hoping he can be that player for 10, because he's not going to be that guy for 16. Let's look at the fact that now they need to make some moves. What's move number 1? The Yankees need a third baseman. The Yankees need a first baseman. And the Yankees need a left fielder. Off the rip, I'm moving Judge back to right field. That's the first thing I'm doing. And then I'm moving Jason Dominguez to center field. He's going to play. Enough of the bullshit. This guy is supposed to be the whatever his fucking nickname is. I forgot his nickname. I'm sorry. The Martian. He's going to play center field. And hopefully he is that guy that we saw 2 years ago before he hurt his elbow. So Dominguez is playing center field. Left field. We got to take a look at what we're going to do there. Are we going to re-sign Alex Verdugo? I like Verdugo. I do. Do I think he's a starter? Marginal. But I like him. And I thought he did really well in the playoffs as well, which kind of softened me back up to him. I love his attitude. I love the way he is. I like how he acts. He reminds me a lot of Nick Swisher. And I love Nick Swisher. But first base, you better go get Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso's coming off of his worst season of his career. He is. Who cares? Pete Alonso's still going to give you 30 to 40 homers. and playing next to Judge, he's probably going to be better. Now, I do have concerns about his batting average. His batting average the last 2 years has been horrible, 217 and 240. Scares me to death. He did have 46 homers and 118 RBIs while hitting 217. Maybe he's a guy that can take advantage of that short porch in right field, going opposite field. He did have 34 homers, 88 RBI. He hit 240 last year. One thing about him is he's healthy. He plays. He's played almost all his games. Like he played every year he's played all the games they've had to play. 161, 57. 57 was a shortened season. 152, 160, 154. He doesn't miss games. I mean, if you look at his career, 53 homers, 37, 40, 46, 34. He is now 30. He turned 30 years old yesterday, or the 7th of December. You can get Pete Alonso for 4 or 5 year deal for probably $130 million. I don't think he's going to command some Brinks truck contract. I don't think he can. What was he making with the Mets? He was making $20.5 million. I think you get him for 4 years, $120 million. Who's going to pay him? I don't know who else will pay him. Real talk. So, Pete Alonso is your first baseman. Is he a great first baseman defensively? Not really. Not really. He's okay. I don't think he's a great one. When you look at his statistics, first base. Let me find it. I mean, 7 errors. He's okay. He's a negative on some stats, but I think he'll be better than Anthony Rizzo, and he can also hit. So I'm going for Pete Alonso at first base. What am I doing at third? We already let go of Gleyber Torres. So Jazz Chisholm is moving to second base. Okay? Easy decision. Jazz Chisholm will go play the position he knows how to play. Volpe's at short. I have no problem with Volpe. Third base, you may not want to hear it, but the Yankees need to go after Alex Bregman. They need to go after Alex Bregman. He did have probably his worst year of his career this past year. But he's still a very good third baseman. He still can hit the ball. And I mean, if you look at it, really, the last 3 years, he's hit 260. So it's been the same every year. It's 23 homers, 25, 26. He's not the same guy from 18, 19. He's not that guy. But is he better than what we've had at third base? Absolutely. He's a Gold Glove winner. This is a good player. He's better than anything we've had in a while. So Alex Bregman. And then the final guy that we're going after, for me, and I'm getting his ass in left field, it's Teoscar Hernandez. Teoscar Hernandez is a Yankee killer. So how about we get him on the Yankees so he can stop killing us? He was on a 1-year deal with the Dodgers, had a monster year, hitting 272, 33 homers, 99 RBI. Wins the World Series, All-Star, the whole nine. This guy is consistently in that 25 to 35 home run pace. He was good with the Blue Jays. He was, good with the Seattle Mariners. I like Teoscar Hernandez. He's a fun dude. He's a Latin guy. I like him. I think he'd be great in left field. And those are the 3 guys that I'd be looking to bring in. He's 31 years old. When does he turn 32? He turns 32 in October, so he's 32 years old. So, you have a guy right here who you get him for 3 years. I think the window is now. You've got to win in this. You have to win next year. In the next 2 years, the Yankees have got to win. But you like to win both years. But you need guys that can hit the ball. You need guys that can hit the fucking ball. You just lost 41 bombs and a 290 batting average. You just lost Gleyber Torres, who, whether you like him or not, can hit the ball when he hit. Those are the three guys that I'm going after because now the money's available. What was Teoscar Hernandez making? He was on a 1 year, $15 million deal. You can get Teoscar Hernandez into New York for 4 years, $80 million. Done, easy. Easy. Like, done. Well, his deal was for 23.5, but he has a bunch of it deferred to when he's old, 37, 38, 39. So he'd be getting paid $850,000 a year for a decade by the Dodgers. The Dodgers are experts on these deferred deals, that's for dang sure. But yeah, so I'm looking at him, I'm looking at Bregman, and I'm looking at Pete Alonso. And then I think you gotta look at a potential pitcher. But at least two of these guys we need to come down with. You need to get at least two of these guys. So Bregman was on a 5-year, $100 million deal. Wait, did he sign already? Yeah, he's on unofficial. So he was on a 5-year, $100 million deal. He will not command that in the market. You can get him for probably 4 years, $70 million, 65, 60. He's not $20 million a year anymore. He's not that guy. So yeah, it's a very disappointing day for me. Double middle fingers to you, Juan Soto. There's a reason I didn't buy your fucking jersey. You parlayed us and you made a bigger deal because you played great with the Yankees. Because at the beginning of the year, people were talking about a $500 million deal for you. You just pulled $765 million out of the Mets. All because in 1 year in Yankees pinstripes in the Bronx, you look like a monster. You're the best year of your career by a mile. Can you keep doing that in the Mets uniform in Queens, where nobody cares about you? Best of luck, homie. But what you did, to me, my opinion, I think real men, they speak for themselves. They don't let reports come out with it. I think a real man gets on the mic and says, "This is why I did what I did. This is what I want to do," and cool. And I can respect that. But that shit with sources have reported and shit like that, that's weak sister shit, man. I think that's weak as fuck. It's weak. If Aaron Judge had decided to play for the San Francisco Giants instead of re-signing with the Yankees for less money than he offered by the Giants, no less, I would have sat there and said, Aaron Judge better have something to say publicly to Yankees fans. He would have had to have spoken to Yankees fans publicly. And then but if he hadn't, I'd have a big beef with him myself. I think a lot of these players who become beloved, like I know Soto was a 1-year guy, but the Yankees gave up a lot to get him. Like you got to be honest, the Yankees gave up a lot to get him. Like if you look at who the Yankees traded to get him, they didn't give up dogs. Michael King was 13-9 this year for the Padres with a 2.95 ERA and 201 strikeouts. We also got Trent Grisham. Whoop-de-doo. They got Johanny Brito, who was he barely played. He didn't pitch much. But Michael King got Randy Vasquez, who was not great. Got a prospect in Drew Thorpe, who's not even with them anymore. and we got rid of Kyle Higashioka, who's not even with them anymore. But Michael King is going to be a good pitcher. And they're going to have him for a minute. And we just got this guy for 1 year, and he is gone now. So I'm obviously disappointed. We gave up a good young pitcher for him. And yeah, we should. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. But anyhow, that's all I got. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think of Juan Soto's decision? If you're a Yankees fan, did you think he did the Yankees dirty? I mean, you're turning it for $5 million. Do you think there was more to it in terms of what I'm saying about how I think this guy really had selfishness in his mind, doesn't like being the number 2 guy, wants to be the number 1 guy. And it's a lot harder when you're number 1 guy, though. Always remember that. You're in New York City. If you fuck up, homie, they will let you know. But in the Yankees pinstripes, you are shadowed and protected because of Aaron Judge. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. What about the people I think the Yankees should go look at right now? Let me know. Appreciate y'all. This is Rudy's Rant. Facts over feelings. Come on now.